I don't know what to tell you about Tyreek Hill. I have no clue. I'm digesting this live like you are. And the truth is, there's no way I'm triple stamping a double stamp on this bad boy and calling this a turnaround effort. A lot of you can't trade anymore anyway. It's not like you can trade them away. If you can, maybe you sell high from a box score Bobby that doesn't know what's going on. I'm not saying there's not hope. I'm not saying I'm not sitting here if I own Tyreek and going, I can't find a place for him in my third wide receiver spot or my flex spot and just hope I get some sort of resurgence. But good Lord, they're not looking at him all game long. And if you have Tyreek, you've had your fingers crossed all day, and you're thanking your lucky stars when he catches that tip ball in the end zone. Not even targeted for him, not even meant for him. Tyreek Hill has to get his touchdowns by stealing them from other players. I don't know what to tell you. Jonnu Smith was absolutely a monster. Achane could have had 2 or 3x what he dropped tonight. Achane was phenomenal, but they kept handing him the ball with poor designed plays with no blocking up the gut. He could have had 2 other touchdowns. He was on the 1-yard line, 2 other opportunities, and they threw the ball instead of running the ball to try and, spice things up. Achane could have easily had 3 touchdowns. Easily could have had 3 touchdowns in this game. He had one, looked amazing. Ceedee Lamb, panic to the extreme. To the extreme. Not only everything we've talked about is coming true, the injuries are just going to slow him down. They're going to pull him. He's going to pull himself. You've got a duality here, a threat of him pulling himself, looking out for business, looking out for his business. His line of work is his body. And he's diva-like. And I don't mean that in a negative way necessarily in this sense, because I would look out for myself too. If I'm playing for Jerry Jones, who's doing nothing to help me succeed and just put my body at risk every day, I'm contemplating it. I don't think he's a coward for contemplating shutting it down if he's truly injured. And the commentators tonight said that he told them, Ceedee Lamb told them from his own mouth that he's really, really injured. He's hurt bad. He's struggling with the foot and the back. And he told the commentators that he is struggling. It's a very bad year. He's playing pretty hurt. He sat out and without much explanation a big portion at the end of this game, just sitting on the bench while the team's trying to march down the field. You could say they pulled him because they weren't worried about winning the game and they're trying to keep him healthy. And I'm not saying Lamb won't go back in and play week 14, 15. I'm merely telling you, my gut tells me there's a strong likelihood, not a guarantee, not a lock, as we've said for days and really weeks now. There's a strong likelihood, regardless of whether he returns to the field on and off in the next couple of weeks, that he's not around for you in week 17, maybe week 16, maybe earlier. It's going to be crazy. Breece Hall, same concern to a degree. A lot of question marks about his week, 13 availability and potential workload. Braylon Allen, monster pickup, and make sure he's not, if you've been sleeping under a rock after you ate your turkey dinner and you haven't paid attention to this channel for the last 24, 48 hours, make sure you race to your waiver wire and grab Braylon Allen. We'll have a lot more on that tomorrow and such. So hang tight on that one. Let me swing on over to, where's my, there we go. We're gonna break down all of this and more. So hang tight. Let me reset some things. My whole system just practically froze on me. We've got Braylon Allen, Breece Hall, Jonnu Smith, Devon Achane, Tyreek Hill, Rico Dowdle had a good game. I'll take a lap on that one. I didn't trust Rico walking into this game, and I don't trust him moving forward. This is the Dallas Cowboys. They had a gravy matchup. That's on me, though, for not calculating the gravy matchup into my consideration. Just me wanting to run from the Dallas Cowboys, everything that is the Dallas Cowboys. Dowdle had a day. Tracy was decent, and Neighbors was decent. Jonnu, like I said, was fire. Tyreek was fire. Yeah, at the end of the day he was, but he looked like trash all game long. The Fantasy Football Show begins now.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday,
8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what's Rico definitely feeling like you're feeling, Trone. That I don't want to say pretender. I mean, he looked good doing what he's doing. The problem is he's got to worry about the support his team can give him, and there's just no way that I can count on the team, the squad, the play calling, everything that goes into this situation for Rico Dowdle to be consistent down the stretch, especially if you have like very, close calls, and Dowdle, you're valuing Dowdle as a close call with some better players, And man, I don't know how many times I got to tell people that Jaden Reed is for real. All the disrespect he gets week in and week out. I mean, we talk about LaPorta, and LaPorta exploded too. We need to put LaPorta on here. We talk about LaPorta. We talk about Jaden Reed. We talk about how these are two very good players to go get if you can somehow still trade. Getting LaPorta, that's done. You're not grabbing LaPorta anymore via trade. That's over. LaPorta is absolutely fantastic, and he's going to return to top 2 to 5 tight end numbers going forward. 2 touchdowns. I know the targets, we want more and more targets to see more consistency, but I'm tired of the disrespect on Jaden Reed, who plays the old Debo role. You remember Debo Samuel? Remember that guy? Debo Samuel used to be a guy. You tell your dad might tell you about him. I'll tell my grandkids about it, but they won't believe me. He used to be a good player, and he played this position called wideback. And Jaden Reed plays that for the Green Bay Packers. Something we said would happen in the preseason, and people said, he's too small, Smitty, he's too small. Jaden Reed looks fantastic, but he's going to be hit and miss. He's a little bit of the inconsistent type, and that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with him. It has to do with the offense, the play calling, the design plays that a wide back, a Debo Samuel-like role sometimes gets and sometimes doesn't get. Not to mention Jordan Love mixes the ball around. Not to mention Jordan Love and LaFleur are definitely two absolute peas in a pod when it comes to adjusting and adapting to what's in front of him. LaFleur is a great coach. He's such a good coach. He's really taken some big steps forward. And if he's presented with what he thinks is going to be a shutdown situation here, he'll go play ball over here. He knows Reed's a focus here. He'll go over here and throw it to Watson one week. They rotate around a little bit, but Reed's definitely, like if you don't have Reed in your wide receiver 3 situation, like some of you did have some tough Jaden Reed calls. Some of you did. We'll talk about Caleb. We'll talk about DJ Moore. We'll talk about those guys as well, so hang tight. And the phone lines, actually, the phone lines aren't open yet. I've rock out real quickly. He's a Mars man. I'm going to talk to him briefly and then hang up on him, and then we'll come back to the phone lines. I didn't mean to hit the phone line button on accident. We'll open the phone lines, though, I promise you. But Jaden Reed, like some of you had tough Jaden Reed questions. Hey, Jaden Reed, even like Taysom Hill. Jaden Reed, Taysom Hill, or Chase Brown and Jaden Reed, or and some of you had like I don't know, Jamo. Jamo played good. Jamo and Jaden Reed. Those are tough. Those are really, really tough. But Jaden Reed he's your locked-in wide receiver 3. I mean, he's a 2. But I mean, if you have a great team and you're worried about him, he's TD dependent, says Dex. Dex, you either sat him or you don't own him. Because the fact that you'd even think of a negative thing to say about a guy that just grabbed 2 scores, that's looked really good all year long, just in spots. There have been vacancies, but I wouldn't call him TD dependent. I'd call him game scripted out in a way that makes people sit him, and then he blows up, then they put him back in, and then he does bad for a game. He's kind of like a better version of Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers does the same thing. If you own Jaden Reed or Zay Flowers, you just got to start him. You're going to miss. You're going to get out of the lane that you think is going too slow on the freeway. You want to get in the faster lane because it's zipping on by. You change lanes, and then that lane slows down. And the lane you were just in goes straight by you. And you're like, son of a bee, Why did I switch lanes? You got to start him. And Lucas, LaPorta, TD dependent. Who cares? Who cares if Jaden Reed is TD dependent, which I don't even agree with? And who cares if LaPorta, as he's getting back to speed, is TD dependent when he's grabbing 2 touchdowns? When he's grabbing touchdowns, who cares? Let me break something down to you. TDs, if you play in a PPR league, let's say, TDs are 1/3 of your points, my boy. They're 1/3 of your points.
Take a big lap.
I mean, you could say whatever the hell you want about TD dependent or up and down or whatever. Thank you, LaPorta, Reed, and Achane as usual. That's a grateful person right there. That's a grateful man. That's a grateful man. Rock out. What can I help you with real quickly? And then I'm going to clear the phone line and then get you back on after.
Yeah, I took 2 L's with Tua and Dowdle.
Man. What you mean? Do you mean Waddle?
No, Dowdle from the Cowboys. Dowdle.
Dowdle did good. What do you mean?
I didn't play him.
Oh. What are you going to do, Rock out? I mean, so
I'm playing McConkey over him.
McConkey's fine.
Bo over Tua.
Who? Bo Nix? Well, bro, you didn't take any L's yet. Rock out. Relax. Your 2 players haven't played yet. Lad McConkey and Bo Nix still have something to say. We can't be this reactive. Like I understand you're like, damn it, I don't know if I made the right choice after all. But Rock out, you didn't take an L yet. Bo Nix and Lad still got to play a little ball. That turkey sometimes does something to you, bro. You can't blame yourself. Go late. You got to after you eat, you got to take a nap. Come right back after. You're fine, Rock out. I'm not saying that you at the end of the day you made the right calls, because hindsight's 2020. But let's find out. Let's get there and then we'll look at it. But I think Lad could have a day. I think Bo Nix could have a better day than you imagine. Like Bo Nix could have a 4 TD day. Like you might be calling back in going, I ate 2 W's, Smitty. I didn't take an L. I took an L. I turned it upside down. And I added a line in the middle, and we ate that W, baby. Like, calm down, relax. I got you.
No doubt.
Call back in when we open the phone lines, but I love my boy Rock out. Did you have a good Thanksgiving? Did you eat any turkey? Did you get any mashed potatoes?
Yeah, the whole 9.
Attaboy. Yeah, I ate a little too much. I gotta relax.
I probably my head's probably messed up from it.
You know what I love though? Just get a big loaf of white bread. I don't do rye. I'm not even a sourdough. Like sourdough on a certain like sub or something, but I don't even care if it's the I don't know what the best bread is these days, but just that the fluffy white bread is probably not as good for you. You just take that, grab some turkey, slap it on, throw some provolone cheese on, about that much mayonnaise, salt and pepper the hell out of it, and just eat that for a week. I just shoot down turkey sandwich after turkey sandwich for about a week. That's my favorite. All right, Rock out. Open the phone lines in a minute. Hang tight, okay?
Okay.
All right, man. I don't know what to tell you guys right now on Tyreek Hill. We gotta go through so much on screen. I haven't even begun yet. I kind of gave you like a general overview of what I think. We haven't even begun to break this down yet. First of all, let's start off with LaPorta. LaPorta, 2 touchdowns. Look phenomenal. People are gonna say, "Oh, he's touchdown dependent," like you heard already. I'm worried about him. Those are people that don't own him. Those are people that don't own him. Those are people that either maybe if they do own him, they sat him and they're pissed off at themselves. They're trying to make heads and tails of it, and they're trying to rationalize why they sat him. Like if you have LaPorta, you're not complaining. I get it. Like I'll even show the box score. He's at the bottom of the box score, but it doesn't matter. Because he scored 2 touchdowns, and they do love to feed him touchdowns. So I'm not concerned. That's 1/3 of fantasy football is the touchdowns. In fact, it's more. It's really like 40% of it. Some would say 50. Look at no LaPorta. There he is. but he did have 6 targets. 3 for 6 and 2. I'm more concerned about the 6 targets than I am the 3 receptions, as he's still getting back to full strength. He's dropped the ball a little bit. He's kind of been out of rhythm. But the fact that he got the tied for the third most targets on the team makes me smile. And the fact that he pulled in 2 touchdowns tonight, and 2 or 3 weeks ago, he pulled in 2 touchdowns, 1 got overturned. He's been doing very well. And keep in mind, what we saw last year was not a fugazi, okay? It wasn't, he didn't trip and fall into what he did. He showed us tremendous talent. He's been banged up with multiple injuries all year long. And it from what I gather, he's the most healthy he's been. And so it's probably only going to go up from here. These targets will turn into conversions. The conversions will turn into yards. The touchdowns are already there, so they'll continue to flow like wine. And I think he's going to have an amazing rest of the season. If you have LaPorta, in my opinion, you have a top 5 tight end going forward. Now, David Montgomery led the team in carries today. This is very game script from week to week. I can't express enough from week to week. I'm sitting in here, the same song and dance, the same defense, the same explanation over and over, flip-flopping Freddy's. Funnel into the live stream and say, oh, it's David Montgomery. Oh, my God, he's taking over. Because he has 21 carries for 88 yards. The man right below him, his name's Gibbs. You may have heard of him. He had 9 carries. More than half, way less than half of the carries that Monty had. And he had 87 yards, 9.7 yards a rip. And several touchdown opportunities that didn't go his way. And as always, when those don't hit, then the points aren't there. But Monty's going to have these games. Even if we bring up Breece Hall, who was the number 2 running back last year, overall the number 2 running back, he has he had 23rd running back ranking game, 53, 69, 23, 26, 11, 23, 21, 60. And he was the running back 2 overall. The fact that people don't, somebody put it, I forget who was. If you're in here, please raise your hand. Somebody in my Patreon, which you can join the 365 24/7 live chat room with my Patreon members. We're all sitting there during every game, during the whole 3 games today. I was in there. Even while I was eating turkey, I was in there chatting with my people. It's a live chat 24/7. $10 a month, cancel anytime. So what's $10 if you don't like it? You try it 1 month, you don't like it, leave. You're not going to leave, though, because you're going to love it. And I forget, and I just dropped a link. I'm going to pin the link in the live chat if you want to join it. Somebody in there, I forget who said it, but they said that Gibbs, someone was in there trying to debate. I won't call him out. If he's in here, he can speak up now, but I don't want you to get blasted by the comments. But somebody in there was trying to argue with me that Tracy's better than Jahmyr Gibbs. And I was just like, what are you talking about? And so we were just like, we were having a little bit of a debate in there, if you want to call it that, because it's not a debate at all. But Tracy had about, 14.5 points? I see the laughs already. 14.5 points. And someone in the Patreon said, Jahmyr Gibbs farts 14.5 points. I know Gibbs had 9 or 10 today, but he farts 14.5 points on a bad day. That's what he farts out. A shart right in his pants. 14 points. There you go. Had a bad day. Sorry about that. That's Jahmyr Gibbs' normal bad day. He had a worse day than that today. But that is what Jahmyr Gibbs. It doesn't matter if Monty has the day. He gets the touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs is usually getting more than this 2 for 17. He'll get 4 for 40, 4 for 35. He'll get something that will make up for not having the touchdown up here. And that's usually what the case is. It didn't today. And people are already running their mouth about how Monty's taken over. How many weeks do we have to go through this? Next week when Gibbs has 2 touchdowns and 125 yards and Monty has 1 touchdown and 30 yards, the Monty owners will come in and go, sad face, frown emoji, why isn't Monty being fed? They rotate. And it's okay. I'm okay with it. If Monty got hurt, which he did last week, and many people wish that he didn't play this game. If Monty does get hurt, I'll be fine with it. I'm not upset about it. I'd rather enjoy watching Gibbs get all the work. But from a long-term, season-long perspective, we only have 5 weeks left. So if Monty wants to take a 5-week vacation, I'm fine with that. Not wishing injury upon him, but if he wants to go, to the Bahamas or something, I'm all for it. Maybe we can start a GoFundMe and let Monty go off and enjoy himself for 5 weeks. I'm fine with that. But on the course of a season, so we're talking about 2025, we don't want Monty out of the picture. The Lions run 550 to 590 times, let's say. You don't want Gibbs getting even 200. You don't want Gibbs getting even half of 500. You want him getting 220 to 240 carry-wise. That's it. Somebody's got to take this workload. And the way they run the ball so much, 33 times on a off day, is going to have some days where Monty gets 2 touchdowns, Gibbs gets 1, Gibbs gets 0, Monty gets 2. Other days, Monty gets 2. Just don't worry about it. Just start Gibbs. Stop complaining and understand you have a top 5 running back. Monty's a top 7 to 12 running back. I'm sorry if this offends you. Let me say it again for those in the back. Monty's a top 7 to 12 running back. 7 to 14. Sorry if that makes you mad. Gibbs is a top 1 to 5 running back. Just stop with the negativity. Stop with the comparisons of this guy and that guy. Gibbs is a top 1 to 5 running back. Stop trying to act like Monty has anything to do with it.
Let him cook.
Gibbs to the mother freaking moon. And if you don't, this is the final thing on Gibbs, and then I'll move on. If you don't understand this, can I at least present you with some data or some science? If you don't love standing ovations and you want the guy with the Poindexter glasses speaking stats and everything too, not that I don't bring you stats, I'll bring you data right now. If data makes you feel comfortable, if you need scientific evidence why Gibbs is a top 5 running back, how about I just present the data and stop talking? But the continuum of the gigawatt component structure of Jahmyr Gibbs's workload divide has a megawatt offload that if you compartmentalize the component conjunction timekeeper and you flux capacitor out the continuum component megabolt, things just end up happening. And that's why Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 to 10 running back instead of top 6 to 10. All right, I'm not debating this anymore. I'm not even going to talk about it anymore. If you don't understand that Gibbs is a top 5 running back, I can't help you and I don't care to. No offense. Jameson Williams, 2 carries, 18 yards. Jameson Williams, 5 catches, 28 yards. It sure felt like Jamo Williams had a much better day than this. It felt like Jamo, when I looked at the box score, when I tried to look at this, I was the inverse box score Bobby. I was excited outside of the box score. And then when I went to the box score, I had mouth breathing syndrome. I'm like, and I'm just sitting there staring at it. And I'm like, is this going to update? Do I need to hit refresh? How does Jameson Williams only have 28 yards on 5 catches and 18 yards on 2 catches? I saw him blowing up all day long. So I love Jamo. And I love the way they use him. I think Jamo is a strong shot at being out of the league. If anybody thinks, oh, Smitty, I thought you didn't like him, you're not listening to what I say, because I say this exact thing every time I talk about Jamo. Let me map it out for you one time. Jamo, love him. Jamo, absolute superstar potential player. Okay, you got St. Brown there, so we don't know how much he could ever evolve until that situation is different or whatever. But Jamo might be out of the league in 2 or 3 years. That doesn't mean he's not elite, capable. It just means he's a head case. He's a absolute mess off the field. He continues to get in trouble. And you might say, oh, this wasn't a big deal. It's multiple things over and over. He doesn't get it. I hope he learns. Maybe he does. Maybe he matures in the next couple of seasons. That's certainly possible. I'm not ruling that out. I'm not rooting against him. I'm not against Jamo. I'm just saying, be prepared. You own him in Dynasty. Fantastic. But there could be some sort of unraveling at play. But if you own Jamo similar to Jaden Reed, unless you're in a grandma league, a great grandma league, a church league, a choir league, a ROTC league, Jamo and Reed are set it and forget it. Jaden Reed and Jamo are set it and forget it. And that's all there is to it. Amon-Ra, 5 for 73. Wish we had a tutty. Monty, 3 for 36. Jahmyr Gibbs, 2 for 17. Goff had 2 touchdowns, 221. It was a bland day for the most part on this side of the football compared to what our expectation was. Now, let's review the Caleb Williams side of this thing, the Bears. Let me start off by saying Matt Eberflus and the former OC in Chicago, Shane Waldron, were exactly who we thought they would be. They are exactly who I said they would be. And if anybody tries to come in here and act like I've been wrong on anything Chicago Bear related other than doubting, DeAndre Swift during the stretch of games where he was blowing up, Swift has looked good. And I loved Swift last year, so you'd wonder why I didn't love him. The reason I didn't love him this year is because I hate Waldron. I don't hate Waldron as a person, but as a coordinator, he was trash. And Ryan Poles is trash. Trash. Because he set this all up. If you think Ryan Poles is a good GM for the Chicago Bears, then I have a bridge to sell you. Because this guy is the one that put Shane Waldron in place. This guy put Matt Eberflus in place. Shane Waldron, Eberflus, and Ryan Poles all need to go. And if you put it on Ryan Poles to make this decision of how to try and fix what he messed up himself, he's going to screw it up again. If it's not Ben Johnson or somebody of that caliber coming in here to nurture and try and revive Caleb Williams to a certain degree, because the man only knows how to play football in chaos. He's like a rabid dog, okay, that is being caged. And he gets out, and when he gets out, he's impressive sometimes. Like, he'll mess up a lot, doesn't get it done. He's not the person that brings it all together. But this rabid dog gets let out of this cage, and he goes all over the place. He did it in college. He didn't have enough weapons. His offensive line, every excuse in the book of why he's off schedule and running around, he throws more from the sideline trying to get out of things, pulling the ridiculous comparison of the Patrick Mahomes magic. What happens, because he's now doing that again in the pros, what happens if he does give himself a good head coach? Have they ruined this kid? Can he even be a pocket passer right now? I don't know. And you might say Caleb looks really good. You might say, hey, Smitty, I don't know if you're right on Caleb. I think there are times where he looks really solid. I would have you really kind of reflect on what we're seeing. Does anybody know that it took 29 minutes for the Bears to get a first down? This was all second half. This was all playing it safe defense. This was all after the teams had gotten into a certain comfortable state, and you watched the Lions kind of let their guard down and kind of play it safe and allow Caleb to navigate the field. This offense didn't get a first down for 29 minutes. If you think these numbers as a box score Bobby prove that he's legit, these Bear pages and Bear fans everywhere are off the rocker. They're like, yeah, he's legit, bro. We just need to get a new coach. I'm so excited for Caleb Williams to be here. Caleb is not a horrible quarterback. Caleb has a good arm. Caleb is off script all the time. He's throwing from the sideline, running for his life, playing in chaos. We don't know what he'd be with a good offensive coordinator, because every time he's been in the pocket and he's not trying to do it all by himself, he looks putrid. His offensive coordinator is no help. I said that. When Caleb was drafted to the Bears and I said he was going to be garbage and they're going to ruin him, that's all part of the analysis. Waldron was a part of the equation. And I said that the Caleb believers would come back and say, you're a Caleb hater, Smitty. It's Waldron. I told you would come back and tell me that. And then you say, oh, it's Eberflus. It's the organization. All of those are a part of it. You cannot separate Caleb from the Bears and the organization and their dumb decisions. They are one and the same. You cannot separate Tom Brady from Bill Belichick and the Patriots. We don't know what Tom Brady would have been if he wasn't in New England. You can't separate Brock Purdy, the last pick in the draft. If the Niners didn't take him, we wouldn't know Brock Purdy's name. You can't separate situation from player. And Caleb Williams, in my opinion, still is not it. Is he capable of lingering in the league for a while? Absolutely. Is he capable of being a top 15 quarterback in the NFL? Sure. Could he get on the Jared Goff level at some point in his career? I think it's possible. Is Chicago the place that's probably going to break him and have everybody say to me, which I said that you would say, that you would said about me saying what you would say, is that it's the Bears, Smitty. It wasn't Caleb. I don't care. It's one in the same. Caleb, 4 carries, 39 yards. Scrambling all over. Fantasy-wise, this isn't that bad, obviously. You know, a couple games in a row, the guy's getting a lot of garbage, a volume. And that can continue because this team's so bad. The team is so bad. Caleb did nothing in the first half. Again, not one first down in the first 29 minutes of the entire game. Not one. But he still managed 3 TDs, 256, 39 rushing. That'll probably still happen. To a degree. Not these exact stats. But there's a lot to defenses just saying, well, we're up. Let's just let them do what they do. Open field, leave guys wide open. They're protecting, trying to drain this clock. It's wild to me. Now, DJ Moore, 8 receptions, 97 yards, and a touchdown. Happened in the garbage time. The comeback, strike. Now, we haven't even talked about Eberflus because this team did come back. I think it's more the Detroit Lions doing what they did with the Niners. Not being aggressive when you're already up and have a big lead. This goes to the coaching in Detroit, which is not perfect. There are some holes in the Detroit system that relate to the change in behavior and coaching decision-making that happens when you're leading in a game and you stop doing the things that made you successful in the first 2 quarters of the game. You take your foot not just off the gas a little. It's like Campbell took his foot off the gas pedal and exited the vehicle. And it's just coasting, and it's slowing down, and it came to a complete stop. Like, what is going on? That is Detroit. Detroit's got to fix that. If they plan on beating the Packers or the Eagles, or let's say, I don't know. Let's say the Niners pull it all together. As for the rest of these players here, you can see the Keenan Allen 2 TDs, 73 yards and 5 receptions, the 8 for 97 and 1 TD. These are also stats that could reoccur here and there for these players, for DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. So understand that there's still some good value here from a fantasy perspective. Now let's talk about what happened at the end of this game. There's 30 seconds left in the game. If you didn't see it, I have it on my Instagram. 30 seconds left in the game. Caleb Williams is literally knocking on the door of field goal range. Okay, and technically speaking, some kickers would still attempt it from where they're at. That's how close they are. Like Aubrey could have hit that one probably. So all they need is, with 30 seconds left and 1 timeout, some sort of quick strike across the middle of the field. Caleb runs to the line with 30 seconds left in the game and starts getting everybody onto the line. And he looks over. His coach doesn't call a timeout. Fireable offense. You've got 30 seconds. Caleb needs his coach to support him and make decisions for him. I understand that. But Caleb goes to the line, wastes 15 seconds getting everybody set, and then he realizes, we don't have enough time to do this play anymore. I burned all the time. So he audibles out of that play to try and throw into the end zone, 1 final strike. Waste 30 seconds when they have a timeout and they just need a quick 8-yard, 11-yard, 7-yard dump off in the middle of the field, anywhere. Just a quick slant. Here you go. You could shuffle past this kind of thing. 7-8 yards, give your kicker an attempt. Now, the kicker would have been blocked. He would have been something would have happened. And the Bears would have lost this game. Some fan would have blocked the kick and the refs would have let it happen. The kicker would have slipped. and broke his leg. Like, there's no way that the Bears are going to win this game anyways, because they keep just screwing up the end of a game anyway. But wow, Eberflus needs to be fired. He is the worst head coach in the National Football League. Ryan Poles needs to be fired because he set all this up and he's allowing Eberflus even to breathe another second as the head coach and not fire him on Thanksgiving Day. He should have fired him literally before his feet hit the bus and escorted him out so that he didn't ride on the bus home to ruin morale. Ryan Poles should be gone. Eberflus should already be gone. And this is a travesty, and I feel so bad. And if you're Bears fans, don't get mad at me. I'm your friend. I'm just telling you the truth. I feel so bad for Bears fans. This is the worst. This has got to be with the Giants, with Joe Shine and the Barkley and the Danny Dimes and all this situation going on. And you could also say Jerry Jones in Dallas. I still think the talent level's too much over there to throw Jerry Jones and all that into this situation here. This has to be the worst run organization in football. The Giants and the Bears, followed by the Cowboys. It's a debacle. Eberflus should have been fired before he was ever hired. But to have him sitting here infecting this team over and over and over is a travesty. And I feel really bad for Bears fans because they're not sure what it's going to look like next year. Are they going to get the right people involved? Going over to this Miami Dolphin Green Bay game. Let's throw the stats up there real quickly. I got the super chats, guys. I'm going to come for you in a second. Just hang tight for me. I'm going to swing in and grab those supers and throw them on screen and help you, and then I'll open the phone lines. So just hang tight. We got to get through all this. Mostert 5. I don't know why they got Mostert in the game. I know he had a good run where he stiff-armed, but he was even surprised. If you watched the game and you didn't box score Bobby this game, Mostert stiff-armed that defender, and he looked surprised. If you go watch, he actually like stiff-armed him, stopped, and was like, "Oh, I'm still going." He's not good. He's not good anymore. Mostert is aging in dog years, so he does not have anything left. They should have. He got 3.8 yards a carry overall. He had 2 for 15 receiving. This should have been an Achane game. And they should have ran the ball better. They kept running Achane up the middle only 7 times, but it was congested. There were defenders that had already breached the line of scrimmage. Achane was meeting defenders in the backfield, probably 2 or 3 yards or even feet, you could say, before Achane could even touch the line of scrimmage. It was just, there's no room for him. And he's not the kind of running back that's going to drag 2 300-pound offensive lineman back to the line of scrimmage and squeak out a yard or 2. This is an elusive player that does need a between the tackle, ground and pound, Jahmyr Gibbs Monty type of situation going on. You do want that with Achane. I know a lot of people want Achane to get 20 carries a game. I don't want that. I want 15. I want 14 carries and 6 receptions. I want 5 receptions and 13 carries. I want a touchdown receiving and a touchdown rushing and 98 total yards and 5 receptions. That's where Achane's at his best. And when you give him 7 up the gut carries, you don't give him, sweeps or pitches to the left or right and let this guy pop one to the outside and you're running him all up the gut. You're misusing him. The 2.0 yards per carry is not even his fault because he got wrapped up on every single one of those carries before he even hit the line of scrimmage. This Mike McDaniel reminds me of Shanahan. He comes from the Shanahan coaching tree, and you can tell because Shanahan can't be a head coach. He's awful at it. Anything personnel, contract, anything relating to his quarterback, he's awful. He doesn't know what to do with quarterbacks. He proved that with Jimmy, with Trey, with Brock Purdy, possibly. And, and if you say, Brock's pretty good, there's other things I'm referring to, like Brock Purdy tore his UCL. Shanahan went to a backup quarterback who got injured. This was, back, not last year, the year prior. Got injured. Guess what Shanahan did? Told Brock Purdy to get back into the game. With a torn UCL, Brock went back into the game, caused more damage and swelling. Brock had to wait for swelling to go down before he can even have a surgery. Shanahan does not belong in a head coaching position. He's an offensive coordinator. He's a guru. He's one of the best scheme artists in the National Football League. He is the best chef that you could probably find, but he belongs in the kitchen. He does not belong managing the P&L, hiring and firing and marketing and running the operation while trying to cook in the kitchen. That's why he's a bad cook right now. Shanahan's not even a good cook because he's too busy doing things he's not even good at. This guy, Miami Mike McDaniel, comes from the Shanahan coaching tree, comes over from San Francisco to get a starting job with Miami, is the exact same blueprint as Kyle Shanahan. I once liked Miami Mike and I thought there was hope for him. But this guy can't manage the clock. Either can Shanahan. Shanahan didn't even know the rules in the playoff or in the Super Bowl, which caused partially them to lose that game. Miami Mike McDaniel can't manage the clock at all. He can't manage timeouts. He can't manage the clock. He doesn't know how to drain the clock. He gives the ball back to teams so they can come down and kick a field goal instead of draining the clock off the. It's amazing. The fact that when he got the job, do you remember? Miami Mike McDaniel got the job, got on the plane. There's video footage of him calling Tua Tagovailoa up. And he said, "You're my guy. You're my guy. You're my guy." Like, he didn't even take a look at the product first. He didn't kick the tires. He committed full send to Tua Tagovailoa, and he's never had a backup plan. He's never brought in a competent backup. He never thought to trade for Justin Fields like so many other teams didn't. 30 other teams didn't. It's insane. It's insane. And I don't, to be honest with you, as much as I love Achane, and I don't know that I can trust anyone in the wide receiver room in 2025 unless they're the right cost of entry and all that, because I don't know that I can trust Tua to stay on the field, and I certainly don't know if I can trust Miami Mike McDaniel to back up Tua Tagovailoa properly. And we know what happens when Miami Mike McDaniel, who can't play call worth a shiat right now because he's trying to manage the entire restaurant and not just the kitchen. We know what happens when he loses Tua. The offense is trash. And on this note, ladies and gentlemen, what do we do with Tyreek Hill? What do we make of Tyreek Hill? I have no clue myself, because we saw Tyreek Hill have a damn good day at the end of it. 6 of 83 and 1 touchdown, 6 receptions, 83 yards, 1 touchdown, a long of 30, 9 targets, and he caught a touchdown that was not even designed to go to him. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. I feel embarrassed because I don't know the answer. I feel like maybe if you can trade, you sell this man now. You sell him now. He's surprised he caught a touchdown. And there's no real explanation for it. In warm-ups every game, he convinces me that he's back. I literally look at him and I say, hey, he looks pretty, I don't know, maybe he's back. Every game, I think in my head, a little optimistic. He looks quick. He looks motivated. He's out there in practice going, cutting left and right. He looks spry. I'm like, that's a quick man right there. And then the game starts and he just kind of jogs around the field. They don't target him. He doesn't complain. He doesn't go, where's the ball? Give me the ball. Go up to Mike McDaniel. Give me the ball. Why am I not getting the ball? It's like it's like he had a lobotomy. And he has no idea who he is. He has no idea that he has these skills. He's concussed and has no clue what his name is. There's something, I'm joking here, but there's something going on that explains why he's not complaining about getting the ball. It's wild to me. And I have no idea what's going on. I can only tell you that I feel this much confidence, 0. That he's going to return to his old form. And I feel maybe 20, 30% confident that we'll get what we got tonight every other game. And you kind of get what you're expecting right now, maybe. Because our expectation is that he's a wide receiver too. That he's doing what J-Mo and Reed are doing on occasion. Like vanishing and coming back. Zay Flowers vanishing and coming. Like we at least expect that out of him. And I have 20, 30% faith that he can do that, but I literally don't know what to make of it. I just think right now it's a paper tiger. He's a paper tiger. He looks a little bit propped up right now because of the touchdown, which was not intended to be sent his way. But I can't tell you. We'll break it down more this week, Give me some time, but right now I think my gut's telling me I'm going to tell you to not expect that. And if you're faced with a dilemma like Bucky Irving over Tyreek Hill, I'm still starting Bucky Irving as of this moment over Tyreek Hill. LaPorta, we talked about him, 2 touchdowns. Jonnu Smith was an absolute monster in this game. Some of it was garbage work at the end of the game, but neither here nor there. We're still accepting it. 10 receptions for 113 yards, led the team in targets. This is a monster. Tua loves him. And as long as Tua's healthy, Jonnu's going to continue to drop top 5 tight end numbers, I think. And shout out to Superfish if Superfish is in here, because Superfish might win this bold prediction board behind me where people drop $50. They dropped a bold prediction, and Superfish said top 5 tight end for Jonnu. And I got out of my chair. I got out of my chair when Superfish told us top 5 tight end numbers. I stood up and walked away for a second and came back. I think that one's going to win. Truss says Bucky over Tyreek is crazy. Laughing emoji.
Take a big lap. We don't need your hate mask coming back now. Take a big lap. Take one and you don't come.
Here, let me put some perspective on this for you, Truss, because you clearly are a little out of touch on this, and it's not your fault. Let's get a vote. You need to take a lap by a mile. The phone lines are open for you, Truss. Dial in. Truss, let's do a little test. Let's put you in your place real quick. I want everybody to tell me who they start, Bucky or Tyreek Hill. Let's just see what the chat is going to say, Truss. And don't think they're just going to agree with me. I think you need a little taste of reality. So let's go ahead and vote on that one. And let's see how many people believe that Tyreek Hill is a better option than Bucky Irving going forward. Let's see. 1, 2 votes. Take a lap. Bucky, 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 Bucky Irving, Buckshot, nonstop. This is 100%. How do you feel right now, pal? Here's a Tyreek Hill. This is probably your brother. A Bucky, Bucky, Bucky league winner. Bucky. It's literally it's literally unanimous. So I hate to break it to you, my boy. I hate to break it to you. But you're going on probably the biggest lap of all time. One of them. Coming in here with a laughing emoji from me. You're going to come in here and pretend that I'm off base. You're going to say, I need a lap? I don't think so. Truss, I think you need to go get me a coffee. Take a lap. We'll see you in 5.
Take a big lap. We don't need your hate mask coming back now. Take a big lap. Take one and you don't come back.
Unbelievable. Blue says Bucky isn't a league winner. 90% of you are just agreeing with Smitty. Sure. You keep telling yourself there. Are you Truss's papa? You got a couple family members in here getting your back, Truss, but there's like 3 or 4 of them. Okay. Where were we? Tyreek Hill. Jonnu. Achane had a good day. Achane right here. 7 of 14. Not good. 2 yards of carry, but down here, 8 for 56 and a touchdown. Would have had 2 other touchdowns. But it just didn't fall. It is what it is. Yeah, sports, we don't believe you. I don't have any. I'm just defending. You're not defending. You don't have any Bucky shares and you're bitter. That's what it is. It's okay. You can defend him. You can have your opinion too. It's different to say I like Bucky or I like Tyreek Hill more, but Truss thought he had me. He thought he had something on me, and that's why he got roasted. Not because he differs in opinion with me. Differing opinions, okay. But you walking into my house and thinking you've got one on me and you're going to drop a laughing emoji on me when you're the one saying the ridiculous comment? You're the one saying the out of pocket that Tyreek Hill LOL over Bucky. That's funny, Smitty. You're wild. Am I right? Am I right, audience? No one. Let's see here. This is the last comment you're getting from me because I don't really care. I don't want to. I know you're just wanting to get airtime. No one's trying to defend you. We know the truth. Oh. Okay. Okay, bro. After that lambasting of a voting, to actually say that line just makes me know you're trolling. Because, like, how do you even say that sentence after you just got blasted, bro? Okay, let's get into this last game, and then we'll look at the super chats and open the phone lines. Drew Lock was awful. We thought maybe there was going to be something here. He looked pathetic. The good news is Neighbors got 13 targets from him. So if he does start again, I feel confident Neighbors is going to get fed. 8 of 69, 13 targets. Tracy had 2 for 33. Ran the ball 9 times for 32 yards. It's only 3.6 a carry. Wasn't efficient on the ground, but did punch in the touchdown, salvaging his day. But, 9 carries is not good. This team benched him last week. There's definitely concern going forward, but there's also some upside from like a third running back or a flex capacity. So I think we just got to look at your team and in case by case decide whether you're starting Tracy or not. Okay. Here, Trust, we'll do this for you. There we go. Okay, Neighbors 8 for 69. Drew Lock 4 for 57 and a touch. That was a nice Drew Lock run. It got us excited, but got our juices flowing, but it just didn't work at the end of the day. Rico Dowdle, this is my one probably big lap of the 3 games. I got a few Rico Dowdle questions. Even somebody called and said, explain to me why you don't like Rico Dowdle. And my answer, I don't think my answer was bad, and I think at the end of the day I'm going to be right overall. The general product of Rico Dowdle in Dallas, playing for Dallas behind this offensive line, for this coach, for this GM, for this system, for this failure of a team, for this quarterback, I think that we're not going to see consistency out of him. But I will tell you, I need to take a lap for saying that in this game he couldn't do it because it was the New York Giants. It was a good matchup. It was a game where it probably was going to be a close enough game that the run would not get phased out. And 112 yards and a touchdown for him was a nice day. Rico had 3 for 11 receiving. Take a lap on me for missing this. But I don't have like any sort of thoughts about like, oh, Rico's really turned the page. He looked pretty good, but again, it's the Giants. So there's that. LaPorta, Braylon Allen, Hall. We talked about this. There's a real good chance that Breece Hall sits this game, and Braylon Allen's going to be a top 10 running back play this week. And it might open the door to let's see if we got a Sonic and Knuckles situation here. Let's see if we have a Gibbs and Monty situation, especially for whatever coach comes in to coach this team in 2025. I think this is a very vital stretch for Braylon Allen to prove that when that coach comes over, they say, God, I got 2 RBs. I got Ben Johnson over here. What if it's Ben Johnson that comes over? What if Ben Johnson comes over and says, I'm going to get my Sonic and Knuckles going on here with Braylon Allen and Breece Hall? Can you imagine if we predict this right and Ben Johnson goes to the Jets and turns this into that? And I'm not worried about Hall if this becomes the Monty. I'm not, because of what I explained earlier. I want this guy, Breece Hall, getting 14, 15 carries a game, efficient carries. Look at Achane. When Achane gets fed 7, 8, 9 carries up the middle, it's not efficient. I'd rather him get 3 or 4 pop into the outside carries that allow him to rip off 15 yards on every other rip. So it would be amazing, but we need to watch this situation. You need to race to your waiver wire. For any reason Braylon Allen's available, you have to go grab him. He's a league winner potentially. He might not do anything. We have no guarantees on this situation. He could play. Breece Hall could play. The fact that he's sitting with a knee injury coming off a bye week with a lot of ambiguity is concerning. But it also does appear that it's not season ending or an ACL tear off of what we can gather anyway. It could be something where we're being lied to, but it does feel like it's not necessarily a huge deal, but it's a big enough deal that they're hopeful he plays. That's it. Tyreek Hill, Achane. I think we got all that covered. Let's hit these super chats real quickly. The first super chat's from TP31. He says Mason for Braylon Allen for running back Max. Of course I would take Braylon Allen because of the situation we're looking at right now, especially in a 4 running back Max situation. It's time to make a promo song for Jonnu. We might need to, that boy. Appreciate your super chat. Jonnu is a beast. Got him off waivers. Fantastic. Ramon, hopefully the weekly waiver wire shows were the reason you got Jonnu, because we've been pumping him up for a while now. And Superfish, like I said, had this first because Superfish came in to our chat, our one of our amazing followers here and subscribers, and Superfish said Jonnu was going to be a top 5 tight end. So that was first said by Super. Taysom Hill over McBride this week? Probably not, but I love both of them. I find a way to play both, but you can't sit Trey McBride. Didn't he have 15 targets last week? It was insane, bro. It was insane. He's playing amazing. So is Taysom, though. I want both of them in the lineup. Noah Gray or Evan Ingram? I'm going to go Evan Ingram this week, especially if he gets his quarterback, suiting up, but he might not play T-Law. So I don't know. Noah Gray's interesting, though, but I don't know that I ride that train thinking it's going to just repeat itself from last week. Start 2, Jonathan Taylor, Hunt, Addison, or MHJ. If you hear that like Hunt's getting all the work, like last second we hear that tomorrow, we'll be live tomorrow before the game, then you probably want to roll with Hunt if you hear he's getting all the work. I think JT and Addison for me are your safest calls. If you guys could vote on this question, start 2, Jonathan Taylor, Hunt, Addison, or MHJ. I'm going to go JT and Addison personally. Jacobs, give Jacobs his love, please. Hall Hopkins before Bijan. Give Jacobs his love. This guy's a Mars man. You don't have to tell
He's
me.
on a shuttle to Mars. Mars man.
Barkley, Jacobs, absolute fire.
Loads dropping and spinning aimlessly in space.
Jacobs is a beast, bro. Hall Hopkins for Bijan. I probably would if you got the depth for it because of what I fear for the Jets and teams that are losing in week 16, 17. What do they do with their team? Happy Thanksgiving. Buy low Gibbs for Walker and JSN. Go get Gibbs now for that price tag, bro. That would be an absolute smash. Bucky is baby Achane. Do you agree? 2025 outlook. I don't think it's Achane. I think it's like he plays like a mini Breece Hall, bro. Like he's awesome. Bucky is awesome. But I mean, you could probably link him to a little of Achane, but his game really is, I would say, Breece Hall or Mixon. I think Mixon and Bucky play a lot alike. I think that's more of where I'd go, my boy. But either way, you're talking about monsters. I fired up Jonnu in both my leagues with Achane. Attaboy, Rise, you've been on a streak lately. Every time you come in with a super chat, you're like, hey, Smitty, let me tell you about my success story. It's like nonstop, my boy. Had a trio of Love, Reed, Jacobs along with Achane tonight. Can I get a let's go mashed potatoes? Absolutely.
Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy.
I'm still coughing, and I hope the whole household is sick again. There's a new flu. Either that or they all caught the same thing again, and worse, that just wiped out my entire house on Thanksgiving. We have a brand new flu in the house. And I got a little tingle in my throat. I'm coughing a little bit, but I'm still coughing from the last one I got over a week ago. And maybe we all got it back. I don't know. Someone said I didn't Lysol this thing. You're right, I didn't. Maybe I gave it to myself again. I don't know. I just hope I don't get it. I got to work out tonight. I got to get on the bike. Had a trio of Love, Reed, Jacobs along with Achane tonight. Can I get a mashed potato? You sure can. Appreciate you for dropping that. If I get sick again, I'm going to be so pissed. I mean, my whole family just got it. They're out there. It's insane. It's insane. Ramondre Stevenson, Maserati Marv, Braylon Allen. If Brees is out, if Brees is out, it's Braylon Allen all the way. And if not, then I go Marv. Thank you for the super chat, my boy. Andre, and then Jonathan with the final two, and then I'll open the phone lines, and then any other super chats that come in, I'll answer as fast as I can. Thank you all for waiting for these. I traded Ceedee and Monty for Achane yesterday before the deadline. I'm sorry, I lied. We got one more super chat. It's a $20. I'm going to that one in a second after I finish this one. I traded Ceedee and Monty for Achane yesterday before tomorrow's trade deadline. You still have Nico, JJ Henry, and Kyron Smitty approved. Yeah, I'd probably rather have Achane. You know, Ceedee is such a concern. Like, who knows what you're getting with Ceedee Lamb? $20 hauler. $20 hauler. Where's my button for this?
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 super chat.
God, if I get sick again, I'm going to be so pissed. Happy Thanksgiving, bro. Start to Connor, K9, Pacheco. You got to go Connor and K9 right now. If we hear tomorrow before game time that Pacheco is going to see a ton of work, maybe we flip Connor out because his volume's been lower lately. We have a reason to doubt Connor. I think he can go amazing, but he could do an amazing things in week 13. But because his volume's been low, it's an easy call for me. So we're gonna go K9 and Connor for now, and then if Pacheco's gonna get tons of run, Connor goes to the bench and Pacheco's in. But you can't put Pacheco in until we know the volume. Thank you for the $20 hauler, my boy. I appreciate that. And then this one right here, 10-team PPR starting Hurts, Tracy, Jacobs both played. Jacobs was phenomenal. Did we even talk about Jacobs? I don't think we talked about Jacobs yet. I skipped over that because we were discussing. Hold on, Jacobs was phenomenal. Jacobs had 43 yards rushing and a touchdown, and he also pulled in 74 yards on 4 receptions. So Jacobs to the motherfucking moon. I mean, we celebrated, but I didn't talk about his game log. So
To the moon.
to the moon. I mean, unbelievable day by Jacobs. Jacobs looks so good right now. He's a top 10 running back. He's just a top 10 running back. Both played Higgins, Adams, Kelsey. My opponent started DJ Moore. Do I flex Ridley, Jennings, or Devontae Smith if he plays? I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't think Smith will play. You never know. Do I flex Ridley or Jennings? I probably go Jennings, but anything can happen. Chat, can I get a vote on this one? Smith, if he plays, probably won't. Or Jennings and Ridley. I go Jennings. I hope Purdy plays. If Purdy doesn't play, and I don't think he will, I still like Jennings a little more. No, you know what? Okay, let me take that back. If Purdy doesn't play, I'm going Ridley, as long as Ridley's starting, and I think he probably will. Then, yeah. But if Purdy starts, I go Jennings. If Purdy and Devontae Smith start, I probably go still Jennings if Purdy's starting. But if Smith sits and Purdy sits, then I'm sitting Jennings and I'm going Ridley. I think the chat will probably agree with that. That's more Smitty talk, LOL, says Blue. Blue, why are you being a hater today? Like, you used to be a supporter. Like, why are you bringing a little bit of hate to the building? Decent, but I don't clarify that the moon means to you all. I don't know what you're even saying, but I feel like you're bringing a little bit of a hater vibe today. I don't know what your deal is. Have Jonnu, Taysom, and Otten. How do I rank these guys now? Jonnu's got to be 1, I think. I think Taysom's 2, Otten's 3. But you got a dilemma on your hands. You got a nice little dilemma on your hands. I think matchups could sway us a little bit here and there. But Jonnu's got to be the 1. I mean, the targets are insane. But, like, something happens to Tua, then that changes really quickly. It really does. It could change really quickly. Start 1, Adams, Ridley, or Brian Thomas if T-Law plays. If T-Law plays, Thomas all the way. If T-Law doesn't play... Chat, what are we doing if Trevor Lawrence does not play? Are you playing Adams, Ridley, or are you still going BTJ? Let's see, Adams. I'm not being a hater, Smitty. I'm just not praising Bucky for being decent. You're all by yourself, though. Okay, so that's fine. But you're in here acting as if... I don't even... I'm not going to go back and even reread what you're saying. I've been seeing what you're saying. You're in here trying to cause a little bit of trouble on the Bucky Irving content. And that's fine. I don't mind it. Look, we're all going to have disagreements. No one's in trouble. Everyone can have their own opinion on players, player value. It's when people get insane and crazy about it, and they try to cause problems, and they think that they're not. They even say, "I'm just speaking my mind." You're not. You're not. You're trying to cause problems in the chat, and you're trying to ruffle feathers. The thing is, you don't ruffle my feathers, but we do keep this thing, kosher in the chat, and you start trying to like push other people's buttons and switch the chat vibe. That I have a problem with. Start 1, Adams, Ridley, Thomas. What did you guys vote? I know I need a Bucky button. I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'll have it before the show tomorrow. Bucky. I'll have a Bucky button. Ridley, Devontae. Adams, Ridley. The Ridley votes win. My answer will be Ridley. Uh-oh, I'm coughing. Jeez, bro. Jeez. Play Dowdle, love Cowboys, D. Play 1, MHJ, White, or B-Rob. Give me MHJ for the upside, Garrett. Easy call. Smitty, you missed my super chat. No, I didn't. I just got it. Garrett, you just dropped it. I'm going through them as fast as I can, but I appreciate you. Start Kyler Murray or JD5 this week. Probably Garrett wanted instant service. Garrett, I was on it, bro. I was on it pretty quick. I would say Kyler Murray's he's intriguing. Minnesota did get ripped up. They have been ripped up a couple times now, this defense. But Kyler runs, so he's a special breed. So do we roll with Kyler on the road at Mini, or do we go with JD5 at home versus Tennessee? Can I get a chat vote on that one? I think Kyler's probably got... Kyler might be safer, even though he's been inconsistent, but JD5's riskier because he's also been inconsistent in a major way, but he's been hurt, and all that. But I think he's got a tad more upside. We got 3, 4, 5, 6 JD5 votes, 7 JD5 votes, 1 Kyler, 7, 8, 8, 8, 9. I'm gonna go JD5 with the crew. I believe in our chat. I also lean that way anyway, just slightly. Kyler's interesting, but probably JD5. Ladd or Marv at the flex. Ladd safer. Marv is higher risk but higher upside. I wish I could give you a strong cement answer, but I can't, because there's just, what do you need? Do you need safety? Go Ladd. As long as he's going to play, go Ladd. He's safer. If you want high risk, you're okay with 2 points or 4 points or even 0 points, but you want maybe a chance for 2 touchdowns and 130 yards. Marv is probably your boy, but I think Ladd is safer if he's starting. Chat, vote Ladd or MHJ. Ladd or MHJ. KJV says can only start 2. DK, BTJ, Devontae Adams, Addison, Tillman, rank from 1 to 5. I'd probably say if Trevor Lawrence plays, BT's 1. If he doesn't play, believe it or not, Addison's 1 for me, and he's 2 if BTJ has Trevor Lawrence. So either way, I'm starting Addison, right, as my 1 or my 2. If BTJ doesn't have his quarterback, I probably lean at DK. So BTJ and Addison if Trevor Lawrence is back. If not, DK and Addison. Final answer. But close call.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Oh. T from Tempe. What's up, T from Tempe?
Yo, what's up, Smitty? Happy Thanksgiving, bro.
You too, bro. What can I do for you?
All right, so I'm 8-4 in one of my leagues right now, and I was just wondering if I need to change anything before playoff happens. Can I read you off my team?
Real quickly.
All right, I got Kyler Murray, Bijan Robinson, JT. Then I got Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown, Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr., and yeah. But I was just wondering, do they need to trade anything? Maybe get a better RB2, or should I just rock with it?
You guys can still trade?
Yeah, I can still trade until next week.
After MHJ, who's on your bench?
I got Rico, Rashad White, Jonnu Smith, and Braylon Allen.
And who's your starting tight end?
I got Trey McBride.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to trade like MHJ and these 2 guys, Rico and Jonnu, for one monster.
Like a monster RB. Right.
Well, not necessarily RB. It could be anybody. It could be Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Mike Evans. Kyron is so cheap right now. Or you said Bijan, right?
Yeah, I got Bijan.
Achane, Kyron, Gibbs. I mean, like, people are freaking out about Gibbs right now. I think you could trade this trio. I mean, yeah, package just together. Try not to get rid of all 3 if you don't need to, but Jonnu and Rico, Jonnu and MHJ should get you something massive, bro. Yeah, that's easy.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Perfect. Thank you, bro.
All right, later, bro.
Enjoy the show, by the way.
You what? Oh, yeah, thank you. Later. Rob from New Jersey. What's up, Robbie?
Smitty, what's up, man? So if Breece Hall is going to play, but he's, we don't know what extent, would you, if you were me, I have Chase Brown and Mixon, and then I also have, in my flex spot, I could place Higgins, Mike Evans, or Garrett Wilson. Would you play it safe, or would you just roll with Breece Hall if he's playing?
You don't have Allen, right?
I do have Allen.
Oh.
Yesterday.
Yeah, okay. So I'm probably starting Allen or Higgins, but this is a tough call. I think our chat voted earlier on yesterday's yesterday's late show, Higgins over Allen starting. But it's a very, very, very close call. It's full PPR. Chat.
I'd probably lean Higgins.
Hey, chat. Half PPR. Half PPR. Are we going Braylon Allen if he's starting or T. Higgins? I think in full PPR the chat voted Higgins, but I wonder if this will sway it. We have to hear, like, if we hear any kind of shadiness coming out of this situation, though, we have to be careful. Like, Breece would have to be sitting. I want to make sure everything's good.
Yeah. We
got a little bit of an Allen lean. Actually, Higgins is coming back. Higgins. Okay, Higgins has flipped it. It was like Brown 4, Higgins 2. Now it's like Higgins 6, Braylon Allen 5. Higgins 7, Braylon Allen 5. Either would be fine. We got I can't decide Donnie. Higgins. I mean, yeah, I guess it's still Higgins.
Okay.
I'm excited about both of them. I kind of agree with the undecided Unger that said either's fine. I think you're going to be okay. I think that Higgins might be the safer route if you want safety. If you're looking at your matchup and you're like, give me safe. But Allen probably does have a little higher upside and a little bit more risk. Because the Jets, Yeah. What if he gets phased out of the game?
Yeah.
The game script, whatever. So Higgins is safer.
The other thing, would Herbert or Kyler this week?
Jeez. So we already went over Kyler and how that's risky but interesting call. Herbert is playing same time, Sunday morning, Atlanta. Good matchup. If Ladd's playing, and right now I expect him to. Superfish, we call you out a bunch. You said you're way behind. I don't know if you're listening now or you already flipped backwards, but Superfish to the moon on your Jonu call. If Ladd's playing, I do think Herbert's safer.
Yeah.
And keep in mind the running back stable's injured too and beat up, so it might be a lot of passing. And honestly, like as much as Atlanta's been shitting the bed lately, it still could be Atlanta gets a couple scores and becomes more of a shootout than Harbaugh wants. But Harbaugh's also capable of making Atlanta have 10 points at the half. So I don't know. It's kind of tough. It could be a 10-13 game. At halftime.
Yeah.
And you're like, damn it, Herbert's got no touchdowns, and like, what do we do? I don't know. Chad, are we going Kyler or are we going Herbert? I like Herbert a lot. I don't love the consistency of his situation, but
yeah, me too. I mean, I benched Kyler last week for Herbert, luckily, and because Kyler played terrible.
Guys, what are we doing here? Kyler or Herbs? Give a vote here. I got one Herb vote, got another Herb vote, got another Herb vote. Looks like Herb's getting the majority of the votes, bro.
Oh, really?
Kyler got one.
The last thing I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Dude, DK, is he going to play? Because he didn't practice.
We don't know.
This week?
We don't know.
Okay.
Can't even really. I'd just be guessing.
Yeah. All right. Because that's a new injury, right? Like his shoulder just popped up.
We just don't have a lot of information on it, bro. We're just kind of waiting. I think tomorrow we'll have a lot of info. A lot of news wires are not even trying to dig into it either right now because of the Turkey Day games, and I don't know. I think we get some information tomorrow.
Yeah. All right, cool.
All right, later, bro.
All right, man. I appreciate you.
All right.
Thanks.
Steven from Iowa, as fast as you got about 60 seconds, bro. I got to go a little quicker. What can I do for you, Steven?
Dude, what's up, bro? So, try not to panic right now. I know. So, I got Gibbs. He put up 10-4, and then I had Detroit, which they just put that down in the second half. So, I got Connor, and I'm starting MHJ in my flex. Is there a possibility that they both can coexist and have a good script and both go off, or is it kind of one or the other whenever the Cardinals play?
Are you just wanting reassurance, or do you have an alternative we can debate?
I mean, I can put in, and MHJ is in my flex, but if Metcalf doesn't play, I'm going to have to put in MHJ as my wide receiver 2, and then put in either Dell or Cooper.
So you have DK as the option.
Yeah, DK. Well, DK is my wide receiver 2, and MHJ is my flex.
Yeah, but you're following what I'm saying? If DK plays, then you have to decide to put one of Connor or MHJ on the bench, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if DK doesn't play, then I can try and give you assurance, but you have no choice, right? But I think Connor and MHJ can coexist, but Connor hasn't been getting a ton of. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate you. He isn't getting a ton of work right now. He got like 9 carries last week or something. I'm not saying that will necessarily be the same thing this week, but I'm gonna go DK and MHJ personally. If DK sits, I think it can happen. They can coexist, but it's just not like ideal. But I think it's not. I've seen worse, bro. I'm not sitting Connor because of that. The only thing I'd ask you is Braylon Allen out there? Is Taysom Hill out there? For whatever reason.
they're all gone.
MVS.
I got Jalen Warren on my bench.
He's not bad. I don't know that he's better than Connor, but Connor's still a big asset for this team, and as long as he's healthy, they're going to try. And Connor's also the kind of player that, like James Cook can vanish for a couple games, people write him off, and then boom. He's like Jaden Reed. Jaden Reed can vanish for a couple games, and then boom. Connor can do that kind of thing, so tough to say. Plus, you're also hedging your bets. I highly doubt both of them bomb. So it kind of hedges your bet a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not excited about it for you, but I also think that, DK and MHJ might be okay for you. Just hope DK plays.
Okay, and then one last quick one. I got Bowers going against Kelsey. Do you think I can beat him at that position? Bowers should, hopefully, with Aiden O'Connell.
Maybe.
Hopefully he should get a
Maybe.
high workload.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. It's close. I can't. I can't. I know you want me to say things, whisper sweet nothings in your ear about this stuff, but it's like it's really. I'll say maybe. Maybe. Pretty close. All right, later, bro.
Yeah, because he's got. Yeah, I'll see it now.
All right.
Peace out, Smitty.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I could give concrete answers all the time, but they're not always concrete. Marco, as quick as you can, bro.
I need you to whisper sweet nothings in my ear, please.
No, only once a show. What can I do for you?
Hey, so I know this is kind of a hard one. Well, not a hard one to pick between, but I'm torn between Josh Allen and Bo Nix just because of the matchups. Bo Nix is going against Cleveland, and Josh Allen is going against San Francisco. And it's a must-win week for me.
Finish him. Call terminated.
Johnny, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
Just a quick one. I've got Braylon Allen, Breece Hall, and Pacheco, and I can't decide what to start for the game's long.
Braylon Allen, Breece Hall, Pacheco. I mean, bro, it's Braylon Allen or Breece Hall. There's no, like Pacheco, you don't even know what he's going to get. If for any reason Pacheco is said to be getting all the work, which we will not hear, then, like, I'm understanding of that, but at the same time, like, you're going to know if Hall or Allen's in there, and you're good to go. There's no way I'm not starting the Jet running back with a guy that might play. A guy that might play. He should, unless there's any setbacks, he should get some run. That's what we're feeling right now.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Straightforward. That's all for me. Thank you.
All right, later. Rock out. What else you got? And real quickly, just on the Josh Allen and what did he even say? Josh Allen and Bo Nix. Anything can happen. Bo Nix could outscore Josh Allen any given week. Any quarterback. Caleb could outscore Josh Allen any given week. But Josh Allen's, you never sit him. You never sit him. I don't care if I'm wrong. I'm not even taking a lap because that's condoning sitting Josh Allen. You sit Josh Allen, you're going to lose that battle 5 out of every 6 times you try it, or maybe even like 9 out of every 10. There are some times where you could get burned, but like you should not have made the move. It was a smart move to play Josh Allen. And to speak about the 49er defense as if they're a tough matchup. Have we been, who was the guy? Was it Morgan? What was his name? I think it was Morgan. Morgan, don't take offense to getting hung up on it. It's good for you. But the Niners are beat up, bro. They're absolutely beat up. This is not a tough defense right now at all. Josh Allen could have his way in Buffalo with a very unprepared team, very injured team with a horrible coach right now, playing horrible football. Like Josh Allen has a gravy matchup when you break that down. Go ahead, rock out.
Are we playing Kyler or Stafford?
Superfish says Jonnu has currently the 3rd most tight end points in all tight ends. Yeah, so you were wrong, Superfish. You said top 5. I'm just kidding. It was a great call. That was a great call, Superfish. I think Superfish is winning I haven't looked at all the predictions on the board up there above my head, but I think Rockout hung up. Rockout, call back. I truly think that Superfish is probably going to win that. What a prediction. And the reason I think it's going to win is I get a lot of say. I will let the chat vote on this, but I get a lot of say. I might even override, but I don't think I'm going to need to, because I got up out of my chair when Superfish said that. And keep in mind, as much as we know that the tight end position is struggling right now, it was not. It was a bona fide blow-up year, monster names all over the board, deepest tight end ranking we've ever seen before walking into a season, and it just the entire tight end group crapped the bed for the most part in all of fantasy. And Bowers is been kind of the leader, and he's not even scoring touchdowns. It's been wild. And so I got up and stood up and walked off out of my screen and out of my seat when you're trying to squeeze Jonnu Smith into the top 5 tight ends in the biggest tight end season we have ever seen in the last 10 years. What a call. Rock out. What was who's Stafford, right? So Stafford at New Orleans.
Yeah. And then Kyler, Minnesota.
God, I'm afraid I'm going to get this one wrong for you, Rock Out, because it's just so. Chat, vote on this one. I don't want to get Rock Out in a mess here. We going with LAR. You've got Puka, you got Kupp, you got Kyron, you got a lot of weapons. You got a team like New Orleans that, honestly, I don't know. I don't know how this game's going to look. The Rams need to win this game. The Cardinals need to win their game. They're both the Rams and the Cards in the NFC West, and they're fighting for that division right now, as is Seattle at 6-5. It's really close, and the Niners are 5-6. So they're all neck and neck. Cardinals win. Herbs. Guys, vote for me on this one. Kyler Murray or Stafford. Please vote for Rockout. This is a brutal one. This is very, very close. I kind of lean toward, okay, Kyler runs. You get some work there. Stafford's got so many weapons. I feel like somehow, some way, he's going to have, a safer, like a higher floor. I guess if you're down and out, my boy, I'd probably say Kyler's your bigger swing. But if you want any sort of safety at all, that still has some good upside, but it's not as high, then you go Stafford. I don't think there's a way to really break this one down any different. I wish there was, but there's not.
Yeah.
All right, Rock Out. Appreciate you.
And with Bo's back injury and being limited, he's good, right?
Should be. We'll know more tomorrow, but Bo's good. I would start Bo over those if you have Bo. Yeah. Did you say you had Bo? Because you flipped it to Kyler.
Differently.
Okay. Yeah. Bo should be good. All right. Appreciate you, bro. Later.
Cool.
Corey, you're live.
What's up, Smitty? Happy Thanksgiving, dude.
You too, pal.
If Breece Hall is out, are you going Chase Brown or are you going Bucky Irving?
Chase Brown. The reason I say that is
I saw.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No.
I saw a report saying that they were going to limit Chase Brown's workload coming out of the bye week.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, limit his workload. Is that going to be the same as okay, even though Bucky's getting more work, he's still in a timeshare a little bit himself. I don't know. I don't think you're in the wrong going either way. I love Bucky, but I think Chase Brown has earned this start, bro. But you are not wrong to go either way. But Bucky is still living in a world where we see the talent, we see the upside, but we don't fully know if the team is going to unleash him or do they keep rotating. You hear that from coaches all the time, it was a game script. that caused us to not play Bucky as much. Well, why'd you lose the game and you didn't use Bucky? There's still that possibility. With Chase Brown, there's nobody else. How are they going to limit him?
All right. Would you go Chase Brown even if Brees Hall played?
What do you mean?
If Brees Hall plays, who would you rather play, Brees Hall or Chase Brown?
Oh, Brees Hall.
All right.
Yeah.
I was just making sure.
Yeah. All right. Later, Corey. I mean, make sure he's playing he's not limited or something. All right. Later. Juan, you're the last caller. Go. Appreciate you. You're live. You're live.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. A lot of you.
Hey, Smitty.
What's up?
Oh, sorry.
That's right.
Happy Thanksgiving, man.
You too.
Yeah, I got a little bit of a problem, man. I got DK this weekend, DK Metcalf, and I'm not really comfortable starting him. But, so I was wondering, optional-wise, I have Mooney, and I have Addison also.
Man, I think Addison's very safe. I go Addison.
Yeah, I'm just not safe with DK.
Mooney's good too,
I don't know. I mean, he could blow up, but
Addison's been on fire, bro.
I think I'm gonna go. Yeah. So I mean, would you make that move on a roster, or do you think DK is still something like you still bank on DK every week?
I think I wait on DK to prove healthy when I've got Addison, who's like, I don't want to say he's not a craft. It doesn't feel like a crafty play. I think that's because he's the second wide receiver on his team. But, I mean, JSN's playing like the number one on his team right now. Mooney, you could say Mooney does at times too. Addison is a favorite target, as we've said here a lot, and a lot of people have said that in the chat over and over too. Like, he's the favorite right now. And, I'm not saying he's better than JJ. I'm just saying he's getting targets, man. Chat, vote on this one. Who we like here? Addison, DK, Mooney. Addison's coming off a monster game.
Yeah, the last two games I thought were pretty.
Yeah, he's been. That's why I say he's safe. He's been consistent lately.
Yeah. Yeah, because I got to get off of DK. He's been losing it for me the last couple weeks.
You got Addison, vote Addison, DK. God, I think I'm going to get it again.
Oh, dude, you're going back to the pumpkin patch?
I mean, maybe, bro. My whole family. Now, granted, I've still been coughing for, I've had the remnants of my flu from, what was it? How long has it been? Like a week? 5 days?
Been a while.
It's been maybe 5 to 7 days. So I've still been I've nonstop had my cough since I lost my voice and had gone through that. But I also don't slow down or take any breaks, and I'll work out too quickly or something. And like right now, I want to go work out after this, and it's like I sometimes don't let myself heal. So I could be kind of like just have a little relapse from just pushing it.
Yeah.
But the whole family is like bad right now. So I have a feeling, and they all either recaught it or got something new, and they were all sick too. So if they're going to get sick again, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get. And it's like nobody covered. My kids don't cover their mouth. They come and they cough right in our face. It's like, All right, bro. Got to run. Anything else?
All right, no, good talking to you, man. Thanks for the info.
All right, last caller, and then I'm shutting the phone line down. Coach Gump. What's up, Gump?
Hey, Smitty.
Yo.
What you take for that cough and that sickness, go down to the health food store and get some liquid chlorophyll. Man, that stuff will knock it out in 1 day. Liquid chlorophyll.
Got it.
Did you hear me?
Yeah.
You'll be done. You'll be done with 1 day. It'll be all done. That's what Trump took when he got COVID.
If I took everybody's advice, bro.
I'm telling you, this stuff is the
All
best.
right. What can I do? What can I do for you, Gump?
Well, all right. Well, it was a bummer. Hill scored a bunch of points against me.
Yeah.
And I'm starting Bucky. I got Chase Brown too.
Chase Brown?
I don't feel good. I got Bucky and I got Chase Brown, but I'm going to do Bucky.
Well, you heard me. You heard me just say. Didn't you just hear? I mean, you've been paying attention to the show.
I did.
Okay. So why are you asking me
why
are you asking me when you just heard me vote Chase Brown?
Man.
I mean, you just admitted you heard me just debate this very topic. You're like, should I do it? Look, Chase Brown and Bucky are.
He scares me. He's playing Pittsburgh. I know he's playing Pittsburgh.
They're about dead even. They really are.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go with Bucky.
Yeah, trust your gut. Trust your gut. I'm just saying. You ask me, and I'm gonna go with the guy that's been absolutely on fire and has no competition.
And he's got Puka gonna go, and I'm gonna roll with Ridley.
Over who?
He's got Puka going, and I'm gonna.
I thought you said you're going Ridley over Puka. I was about to hang up on you.
No,
okay.
No, Ridley over Mars.
Okay. All right, Gump. Appreciate you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, liquid chlorophyll.
No thanks, Gump. All right. Phone lines are closed. Let's see here. Let's hit these final super chats. Your boy will probably be ending it for the evening. We got Justin with a super says, just no real floor for Hill now. Bucky wins different ways. Oh, you're referring to the debate earlier, which was a long time ago. I already forgot about that. Plateau, appreciate you. Bills or Niners? Opine, Smitty. Give me your shot. I would say not the Niners. I like the Bills against the Niners and Braylon Allen. So let's go Bills, bro. I don't know if there's another option, but Bills for sure. Should I start Pacheco or Terry in the flex? J-Fam, you can't start Pacheco unless we hear that he's getting all of the work and like Hunt is not going to play or something. Like you just can't risk it. Terry's been on, he's been in a slump, but he had a great game last week. If DK is out, Judy, Amari Cooper, standard scoring. Okay. If DK's out, I go Judy over Cooper. If DK plays, I play DK. In that scenario, Chris. Chris, appreciate you. Chris from Vegas, everyone. My boy. Dynasty Superflex. Jaden Daniels for Achane Puka. Did I ever tell you guys about when I met Chris from Vegas? Chris. No, we didn't meet. I didn't meet Chris from Vegas, did I? Chris, we never actually met, did we? It was your buddy. Your buddy. What's his name? I've got brain fog. What's his name? Chris from Vegas. What's your boy's name? I'm blanking out. Damn it. Why am I forgetting his name? I hadn't seen him for a year, and I only met him once. And so when I went to Vegas for the annual Scott Fishbowl live stream, he walked up to me and he started talking to me while I was in the middle of a draft, and I couldn't pay much attention to him. Like, oh, hey, what's up, man? I'm like, hey, what's up? Cool, bro. Shook his hand or whatever, and I totally forgot that what he looked like. What I'm forgetting his name. Obviously, where's Chris from Vegas? Reebok Joe. Thank you, Joe. So Joe came up. Reebok Joe came up, and Reebok Joe, who I had met the year prior. I didn't know him the year prior at the Scott Fishbowl live stream that I live streamed for Scott, and I met him. He's a really cool dude. He introduced me to Chris from Vegas to the show. So I've never met Chris from Vegas. You were supposed to come down and meet up, but you didn't get off work in time. But I'm sitting there talking to the Reebok Joe, and I had no idea it was him. I forgot what he looked like. I only seen him once. And I was just kind of blowing him off. Like, not trying to be mean, but I was in the middle of a draft, and he kept coming up and talking. And I'm like, bro, I'm in the middle of a draft. Like, nice to meet you, whatever. And I felt like I was a total dick to him. And then he turns around and walks around, and I see Reebok on his back or his tattoo. And I'm like, that's Reebok Joe. I was like, Reebok, And he turns around and go, bro, I'm so sorry. And he comes back. He was like talking to me for like 5 minutes, and I was just blowing him off because I was in the middle of live streaming and the middle of doing a draft, and he was talking to me, and I had no idea it was Reebok Joe. And I see Reebok right on his back, and I'm like, I felt so bad. But Reebok Joe to the moon. Chris from Vegas to the moon. Appreciate you, my boy. Dynasty Superflex, Jaden Daniels for Achane, Puka, and a first rounder. In a super flex. I take Achane, Puka, and a first rounder. That's a lot. I know QBs are hard to come by, but that's a lot of value. I figure it out. That's an amazing return on investment. It's costly, but it's a lot, bro. Small league, 8-team, 3 flex. Would you trade Pacheco, Debo, and Zay for JJ and Tracy? Absolutely. In a heartbeat, in a millisecond. Wouldn't even think about it. Or DK Pacheco for JJ. Would you trade Pacheco and Debo and Zay or DK Pacheco? So Debo and Zay or DK. I'd rather keep DK. Especially because you get JJ and Tracy in the other deal. My core. Yeah, definitely smash that. Call your boy. That's a good one, bro. All right, guys. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the gifted memberships. I got 2 celebratory messages. One says, let's see here. No, that's the wrong one I grabbed. I'm sorry. Celebratory messages. We have none. Okay. Thank you to all my super chatters. You guys are absolute monsters. Appreciate you. I will see you all tomorrow. Hopefully I don't get sick. I'm still going to be here, rain or shine, but I cannot believe my whole family is sick again. My kids bring home the plague every other week. And then they cough. They just walk straight up and cough right in my face.
Achane is the man. His haters call him small,
but he is 9 feet tall.
Achane is the man.
Don't forget, 50% match on your first deposit at Underdog. Use this link right here. The link's in the description of the video. The link is also in the live chat right now. I'm going to pin that link in just, well, actually, I'm not going to pin it. I'm going to leave it right there. I just dropped it. If you want to join the Patreon, that link has been pinned in the live chat. It's also in the description of the video, and it's where we chat 24/7, 365. The same YouTube group you see here is essentially over here in a live 24/7 chat, just to get extended. Like, we may even go over there for a little bit right after this live stream ends, and I linger in there. We're usually in the game day lounge anytime games end, even like 2 or 3 hours after all the games are over. Like right now, we're usually still in the game day lounge chat, just kind of like, you know, either venting or celebrating or talking about the next games, you know, coming up here tomorrow. We have the Chief game. Don't forget that game is tomorrow. Let's see here. These are all where you can find me. Instagram, The Fantasy Football Show. Don't forget we're on Spotify as well. This is this channel right here, Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then my Dynasty channel, which we're going to blow the Dynasty channel up in the offseason. We'll probably start in December doing all the rookie evals, but youtube.com/Dynasty Fantasy Football. So make sure you check that out. But what was I doing? What was I going to talk about? What was I even saying? Patreon. What was I saying? Patreon. 8 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. I was saying something about Patreon, and then I got sidetracked when I went over to that button. I hit the wrong button. What was I going to do? Can someone tell me? I was going to do something. I'm relying on you guys to let me know. Nothing? All right. If you think of it, let me know. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Live whenever big news breaks. Dynasty shows will be kicking into high gear. High gear. In December. Oh, I think I was going to show this. And don't forget that tomorrow is the Friday game. I think that's what I was going to show. So this game's at 1 p.m. So we'll probably be live before that game and then live after it for the 8 p.m. show, I guess. All right, see you all.